Am I the asshole for losing my temper at my sister-in-law after she ruined the meal I made? My sister-in-law, Ashley, is, for lack of a nicer word, obnoxious. She constantly does whatever she wants, even when you ask her not to. She thinks she is right above everyone else, even when she is completely wrong. She has a very stereotypical baby sister attitude, acting like she can do anything she wants and nobody is allowed to be mad at her because, as she regularly says, she is the baby. My husband says she's the youngest in their family, so her behavior is normal. However, I pointed out that I'm the youngest in my family and I have never acted that way. I do not like my sister-in-law, but I have been polite and maintained a peaceful relationship for my husband's sake. Until today. Today was the first time since 2019 that my husband or I have been able to see our small friend group in person. We all got our vaccinations 2 months ago and decided to meet up finally for dinner. I cooked while our friends either contributed ingredients, made appetizers, or brought wine. I made pasta ravioli by hand, which was difficult. I made enough for myself, my husband, and our friends. However, after they arrived and we caught up while I was finishing the food, my sister-in-law showed up. She let herself in and greeted everyone happily. They know her and said hello, but I quietly asked my husband what she was doing here. It turns out he had mentioned the gathering to her, and he guessed she assumed she was invited. I told him to ask her to leave because she cannot just invite herself like this. He said that would be humiliating for her and asked if she could stay. I was annoyed, but agreed. Things were fine at first. I had a few sips of wine to relax and was about to plate everyone's food at the kitchen island and bring it to them, but I forgot the Parmesan, so I went to get it. I heard my sister-in-law say she would help bring the food to the table. I said, "No, thank you. Please stay seated." My back was to her, and she said something I missed because of a loud clang of a pot hitting the floor. I heard everyone gasp, and I closed my eyes. I knew what had happened, but did not want to look. When I did, I started crying. Hours of work were splattered on the floor. My sister-in-law said it was okay. It was just some pasta. I will buy more. I lost my temper. I called her a careless person who ruined the entire dinner because she refuses to listen. She started crying loudly, and I told her to be quiet and leave. She ran out crying, and I sat down to cry too. Our friends consoled me, and my husband tried to say I went too far, but our friends told him he was wrong and my sister-in-law was at fault. They helped clean up, and we ordered pizza. However, after they left, my husband and I were flooded with calls from his family, saying I was a horrible, spoiled brat who made their baby cry over some unimportant food. Now I am just crying and feeling terrible. Did I go too far? I do not usually get so angry or use harsh words. Am I the asshole? Edit. My husband said he understands I'm upset that the food was wasted, but he does not think my outburst was justified and was actually somewhat extreme. Tomorrow is his day off, and I told him he will be making the dishes I did, by hand and on his own. Then at the end, we will see if he thinks my outburst was unjustified. Edit. Well, my husband made pasta for the first time today. It went much as I had anticipated. He was all confident, saying it will be easy during the first 30 minutes. However, toward the end of the first hour, that confidence disappeared as the strain in his arms set in from making enough dough for nearly 60 ravioli. I did not help him knead, since I did not get any help when I did it. After the dough was done and wrapped in the fridge, he made the filling, which took another 40 minutes or so. Then the dough was brought out and he had to start crafting the ravioli, all by hand after rolling the dough out. That process went on for a long time, rolling some dough out, cutting out squares, filling them, and putting the top on, then repeating until the dough and filling were all gone. In total, the entire process from start to finish for him on his own took a little over 4 hours, and that's without actually cooking any of the ravioli. He also did not make any sauce or cook any shrimp for the ravioli to be served with. He did not prepare any salad to go with it either. When I told him there was still more to do, he almost started crying. He started apologizing at the 1 hour mark and has not stopped apologizing since. We had a long talk about his sister, the dinner she ruined, the other times she has done similar things, there are many, and how he and his family always let her get away with it. He says he knows how they treat her is not normal and he does not like it, but he was raised to just go along with it regarding Ashley. However, he said he will call her and tell her we need some space from her for now. Update 1. My husband just got a message from his cousin about Ashley laughing and bragging about intentionally spilling the pasta to teach me a lesson for being such a snobby person. A few people thought she did it on purpose, but I didn't actually believe it until hearing her admit it. I have never seen my husband this angry before. I do not know what will happen now. Update 2. Hello everyone, so much has happened since the pasta incident that I had honestly completely forgotten about this account until this morning. When I logged on, I saw that I had many requests for an update, so here I am. I was going to post this in an edit on my original post, but it ended up being too long. Someone suggested I post it in the comments, but they are locked, so I decided to make my own post and put a link to it in the original Am I the Asshole post, since I'm not sure how to do an official update post on the Am I the Asshole subreddit. Sorry. So for the update, like I said, a lot happened since then. I will try to remember all of it, but be warned, I am just going to write everything as I recall it and try to put it in order. However, it has been about 4 months, so I may not get it perfectly. Here goes. My sister-in-law bragged to her and my husband's cousin Brenda that she ruined the dinner on purpose. My husband went to confront his family. His sister denied everything until my husband played the recording. My husband banned his sister from our house until she sincerely apologizes to me and reimburses us for all the wasted food. His sister went ballistic, sobbing and throwing a massive tantrum until my mother-in-law tried calming her and scolded my husband for choosing some floozy over your blood family. My husband lost his temper and called out his family for their strange coddling of his sister, saying they had turned her into a spoiled monster. This started a huge screaming match between them all before my husband said he was not speaking to them for the foreseeable future. That's when he called me and told me to block all of his family. Before I could hang up, I started getting many calls and texts from them saying the most hateful things to me. All of my social media accounts, from my personal Instagram to my work email, were bombarded with hate until I managed to block them all, though it took weeks for them to stop. The only people in my husband's family who were not harassing us were his paternal grandparents, his maternal grandmother, a few of his cousins on both sides, and his paternal aunts and uncles. Actually, I think all the hate came from his maternal side, though not all of them. After blocking them all, things were peaceful until a few weeks later, when our friend Kelly's car was vandalized badly when she stayed at our house for the weekend. I mean, the sides were keyed, all the tires were slashed, the windows were spray painted, and they even tore off the license plate and shoved it into the driver's side door where the window slides down. We checked the doorbell camera, and it was my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. They seemed to mistake Kelly's car for mine, since both Kelly's and my car are black. To nicely say, we called the police, and Kelly pressed charges against both of them. Thankfully, with the video evidence, she was able to make a no-fault claim against Ashley, who had insurance, and Kelly got her repairs paid for, though barely. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law getting arrested caused a huge rift in my husband's family between those who think it was not necessary for them to be arrested, most think they should have just paid for repairs out of pocket, and those who think they got what they deserved. The arrest also cost my brother-in-law his job at a university, according to my husband's cousin Brenda, who's keeping us informed. We did not look into it. Brenda also told us that Ashley is only their half-sister, according to the maternal grandmother. It seems she verbally criticized my mother-in-law after she insinuated Ashley had not done anything to deserve this treatment. Brenda said their grandmother said, "You felt bad that your husband didn't love her because he knew she was just your shameful affair baby. So you loved her more than your other children in some twisted effort to make up for it. And you pulled your other children into doing it too, and all you did was succeed in spoiling her rotten." Brenda told us more, but that part really stuck in my mind. Honestly, hearing all of that was unbelievable for me. I had no idea this level of drama was buried in my husband's family. Neither did he. All of this snowballed from a ruined ravioli dinner. My husband and I have decided to distance ourselves from that part of his family for now. Having handed Kelly a copy of the video of my sister-in-law and brother-in-law damaging her car, we more or less washed our hands of dealing with them all. I've been much less stressed lately, and my husband has noticed it too, so not a terrible outcome. I'm not sure who will see this update, but I will be logging out of this account after a while since I think everything is mostly over. Thank you for reading, and extra thanks to everyone who sent me so many kind messages after my first post. It made me feel much better. Reddit verdict, not the asshole.
What do you think about this situation? Who do you think is a jerk, and who did the right thing? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the Sneaky Pigeon channel to get more cool and interesting stories. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.